You know that feeling when you're staring at a problem and it feels absolutely impossible? But then, the solution turns out to be right there, hiding in plain sight. Well, today we're going to dive into a classic puzzle that perfectly captures that moment. It's more than just a brain teaser. It's a test of our ability to see past the walls we build in our own minds.
All right, let's just jump right in. I've got a challenge for you, one that was actually used in old IQ tests. So, you think you're pretty clever? Let's find out.
Okay, here's your setup. 9 dots, arranged in a simple 3x3 square. That's it. Looks easy enough, doesn't it? But trust me, there's a little more going on here.
Now, for the rules. They're super simple. There's only 3 of them. 1. You have to connect all 9 of those dots. 2. You can only use 5 straight lines to do it. And 3, and this is important, once you put your pencil down, you can't lift it up. So seriously, go ahead and pause here, grab a napkin, a piece of paper, whatever, and give it a shot.
So how'd it go? If you struggle with that, or even thought this is impossible, hey, you're in good company. For real. Most people do not solve this on their first try, or their second, or even their 10th. So the real question is, why? What is it about these 9 little dots that's so incredibly difficult?
Well, the answer is pretty fascinating. It's because we all fall for the exact same mental trap. We get stuck because our brain adds an invisible rule to the game. A rule that traps us inside a box we can't even see. I'm willing to bet your paper looks something like this. Maybe you tried some zigzags or a kind of star pattern, but you always end up with at least 1 dot left over, right? But look closer. Do you see what all these failed attempts have in common? Every single line stays neatly inside that imaginary square the dots make. And that right there is the entire secret to the puzzle's difficulty. It isn't hard because of the rules you were given. It's hard because of the rule you added yourself. Our minds just automatically create a boundary where one was never mentioned. This really lays it all out, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the real rules, the only ones that actually matter. And on the right, the one we all invent. Stay within the square. But think back. Did I ever say anything about a square? Nope, not at all. We just put that limitation on ourselves. So, if the trap is an imaginary box, then how do you escape it? Well, this is where we get to the breakthrough. Let's finally reveal how this thing is actually solved. Get ready for that aha moment. So, what's the big secret? It's deceptively simple. To win, you have to consciously break the rule that was never even there to begin with. The solution demands that you give yourself permission to draw outside the lines. Okay, ready? Here's how it works. Watch this. Your first line starts at the top right, and here's the key, it extends way past the bottom row of dots. That's the move that changes everything. Then you shoot a second line up diagonally, again, way past the top. Line 3 just cuts straight across the top row. Line 4 slices diagonally down through the middle. And line 5 finishes it off along the bottom. Boom, 5 lines, 9 dots. Puzzle solved. So you see, going outside the box isn't just a suggestion. It's a requirement. It is the only way. The puzzle is literally impossible to solve if you stay inside that perceived boundary. Now, this little puzzle has stuck around for so long because, let's be honest, it's not really about dots and lines. It is a perfect, powerful metaphor for how we solve problems in the real world. So let's talk about what this means for life beyond the puzzle. So, in our lives, the box is just any assumption that hems in our thinking. It's the belief that you have to follow a certain career path, or that a challenge at work must be solved the way we've always done it. These are the invisible fences that prevent us from finding truly creative solutions. This breaks it down perfectly. Thinking in the box, that's all about safety, doing what's expected, and it leads to, you guessed it, limited and predictable results. But outside the box thinking, that's about questioning those assumptions, trying the unconventional path. And that is where the real breakthroughs, the game-changing discoveries are found. And what's really amazing is that it doesn't always take some massive life change. Sometimes all it takes is identifying and challenging just one single core assumption. And suddenly, a solution that was completely invisible before is now crystal clear. So if you're going to take away one thing from this little puzzle, let it be this. The biggest, toughest obstacles we face usually aren't out there in the world. They're the invisible boxes we build in our own minds. They are the limits we and only we place on our own potential. And that brings us to the final question, the one for you to think about. In your career, in a personal project, whatever it is you're working on, take a second and ask yourself, what invisible, self-imposed box might be holding you back right now?